I suspect that by the end of this year or into next year and the following year, there will be many, many more attorneys who have experience with the COVID EIDL program. But right now, what we're hearing from folks who have reached out to attorneys, who have commented on our videos, and we've seen those comments, and we've done videos about those comments previously. Did your small business receive a COVID EIDL during the pandemic, and today you find yourself stressed out and facing default, facing the possibility of having to file a bankruptcy, and you need to find an attorney? Well, today's video is for you. If you need to find an attorney for a divorce or for DWI, this is not the video for you. Definitely not. Welcome to the EIDL Experts channel. I am Trevor, one of two EIDL experts in this household. The other one is Linda Ray, who is busy ensconced in the studio editing videos because we put a lot of time and passion and commitment in these videos for you small business owners with COVID EIDLs. Thank you all for watching our videos, and please hit that thumbs up and please consider subscribing to the channel. If you need assistance with your COVID EIDL, notably if you would like to purchase our recently published guidebook on how to find an attorney to assist you either with transactions for your COVID EIDL or to file bankruptcy, you can find all our resources that we have to offer in the link in the pinned comment below and in the description. On today's video, I'm going to discuss where's the attorney? I featured this question recently on another video, and this is a comment on one of our YouTube videos from someone named Aaron, who recently filed a Chapter 7 in bankruptcy and discharged the COVID EIDL. Congratulations again, Aaron. And says that they have made multiple attempts to contact the SBA for turning over the inventory. And so my question, Aaron, where the hell was your attorney? Because your attorney was supposed to manage that aspect, supposed to communicate with the SBA and the trustee of the bankruptcy court, because the inventory was supposed to have been disposed of for cash, if possible, and that cash was supposed to be used to pay down the COVID loan in the bankruptcy and thus lower the loan balance. Where was your attorney? This comment came in from Shane Matlock 6067 in response to our video, What Many Business Owners Think About Bankruptcy and EIDL. And specifically on that video, I discussed the typical objection that people have, generally consumers, but especially business owners, to the concept of filing bankruptcy and the feeling of shame attached to failing and having to default. But you got to remember what we've been saying on many of our videos. The Small Business Administration is really forcing a lot of small businesses to fail because they don't provide any payment options when a business runs into some kind of challenge, whether it's an operational challenge or a financial challenge. I've said this time and time and time again. If you had a problem with your paying your taxes, you could call the IRS and work out a payment plan. You cannot do that with the Small Business Administration. And in response to that video where I discussed the idea of shame and that there is no shame in the concept of bankruptcy, Shane responded, "This spoke so deeply to me. Dealing with shame, with the anxiety of what if on my future and my credit. So despite being a profitable business now, I can't seem to find a way to crawl out of this hole. I've been so hesitant to go this route." I hope that video, Shane, helped you, and I hope that you are searching for an attorney. And I also hope and I wish and I pray that attorneys could bring a little more empathy to the process of helping you folks who face yourselves with the prospect of bankruptcy. I would hope that those attorneys could kind of help you ameliorate that sense of shame and reduce it, if not eliminate it altogether. It's just a factual, logical, legal process in a courtroom. And when it's over, you will feel tremendous relief. And yeah, there are consequences, but nobody should have to feel like this and like some of the other comments we've seen here in our videos, to feel so terribly about paying this loan. We did a video a few months ago, the help you needed during the pandemic, but the nightmare you don't deserve today, because the SBA won't work with you when you run into difficulties. Nobody should be saying, I can't seem to find a way to crawl out of this hole. This comment is from Brad Stoller. I was getting slow paid, no paid from several large clients during the pandemic, COVID. To keep the business afloat, I took a large COVID EIDL. I used it to pay my staff and vendors. Less than a year later, I never got paid by my largest client and had to close the business. Now, the business has been closed for 3 years and I still have to make large payments every month for a business that has been closed for 3 years. What can someone like me do? I heard your comment to contact Congress, but in the meantime, I'm making these payments. Brad, where's the attorney? First of all, where was your attorney when your largest client failed to pay you? Did your attorney sue them for performance on, making payment on a product or service that you delivered to them? Because I'm pretty sure you can sue them for that. Where's your attorney? And by the way, this is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. Please consult an attorney. And secondly, yes, we think that folks should contact Congress, Brad, but really you need to hire an attorney because you say, what can someone like me do? If the business is closed and you're making payments on a loan that you got for a business that doesn't exist anymore, the thing to do, Brad, is hire an attorney and file bankruptcy. Next comment is from Theresa Marks, 8969. How to find someone to help you with a bankruptcy on an EIDL if we want to close our business down. I think for me it's super scary. We took out a large EIDL loan. Every time they offered me money, we took it. Now we have a $400,000 loan I've been paying based on the hardship payment, but as soon as that ends, I'm sure I won't be able to keep up. My husband and I want to retire and we are dealing with personal issues. Not sure who to reach out to. I've been following your channel and a couple of others to keep up with changes. Well, thank you, Theresa. And again, Linda Ray and I are always so sad to hear about business owners struggling in this way. To me, this is a factually logical, common sense process you need to undertake, Theresa, which is hire an attorney and consider filing a bankruptcy. Where are the attorneys? Finding an attorney to assist you with the COVID EIDL program is probably the biggest challenge facing business owners in mid-2025. There is a lot of bad advice from attorneys. But the primary concept I want to discuss here is how to find an attorney. We created a guidebook to assist you with a filtering process, like a step-by-step, process on how to locate an attorney who has knowledge of the COVID EIDL. And specifically, the process I designed in the guidebook is designed to help you filter out attorneys who might say, oh, I know what that is. Oh, that SBA loan. But then once you engage their services and potentially pay them a fee, you find out they actually don't know what the heck they're talking about. And I want to conclude the video today with this lovely email we got from a client who recently hired us for some basic consulting. She had multiple businesses, multiple COVID loans, including PPP loans. And one of those loans, it turns out the lender, she has now discovered in July 2025, she has now discovered that lender, as she suspected, committed fraud on her PPP loan. And that is why she didn't get the full forgiveness that she was supposed to get. She's now verified with the SBA's Office of Inspector General that lender, that commercial lender, is under investigation for fraud in the PPP program. But she engaged our services to review her documents to say, what is it I'm missing in my communications with the SBA? And we conducted an in-depth analysis and provided her with a finalized written work product to help her understand. But she wrote us this beautiful email, and I wanted to conclude this video today about attorneys by reading to you her email, but also reminding you folks, if you need assistance with the COVID EIDL program, everything we have to offer you in terms of products and services, you will find in the pinned comment below and in the description of each and every one of our videos. There's a link to our website if you need assistance. That's how this client found us. Hi, Trevor and Linda Ray. I was reflecting a bit more on your services from a borrower's perspective, and I wanted to share some other feedback that might be helpful for other borrowers to understand your value. One of the most significant advantages you offer is that your consulting comes with virtually no learning curve. Your clients don't have to spend valuable time or money educating you on us on the SBA EIDL or PPP process. You already know the system inside and out. That's a major contrast to my experience with many CPAs or attorneys. And folks, this is why I wanted to read this email to you, because I can't stress enough, it is important when you're undergoing any challenge in your life where you require legal advice, it is so important to find the right attorney. And I know this from my experience as a mortgage banker, 30 years in the mortgage business, and time again, when people were buying a house, and when I did business in New York State, and in New York State, when you buy a house and when you sell a house, you have an attorney to represent you on the buy and the sell side. The bank has an attorney and the title company has an attorney. It's a thing in the state of New York. I know that's not necessarily true elsewhere in the United States, but I can't tell you how many times in my 30-year career people who were making the biggest purchase of their life would hire a moron to represent them because, my brother used him for a car accident, or I found him in the Yellow Pages, or it's my nephew's brother-in-law's niece's husband who just graduated law school last week. I'm not kidding. There are crazy stories I could share with you about my experience in the mortgage business. And we're seeing it time and again. In fact, this client, when I interviewed her for the consulting, told me that she has spoken to attorneys and they look at her with a blank expression on their face, which is why the title of today's video is, Where are the attorneys? Where is your attorney? The other person earlier with the bankruptcy and the inventory, where was your attorney? The folks who want to ride off into the sunset and retire, find an attorney. I know how difficult it is. That's why we created the guidebook to assist you. And that's why I'm hammering this point home. The right attorney will get you where you need to go with the least amount of muss and fuss and the least amount of stress and anxiety. This wonderful gal, this wonderful woman who we appreciate so very much, who wrote us this beautiful email, she continues, that's a major contrast to my experience with many CPAs or attorneys, where I have found myself, she says, paying hourly fees just to bring them up to speed before even knowing if they can help solve the issue. While there's definitely a time and place for legal or accounting professionals, your consulting, that's us, Linda Ray and I, can play a critical role in minimizing those costs by advising clients on how to efficiently brief professionals when they do need to get involved. This kind of support would absolutely catch my attention as a borrower considering whether to use your services. Hopefully this feedback is helpful. Small business owners need consulting resources like this to navigate the complexities and inconsistencies of these federal agencies. Thank you again for your help. Thank you for this lovely email. Everything we do here is designed with our videos, with our consulting calls, with our guidebooks to improve your experience when you have to deal with the COVID EIDL program in whatever stance you have to take, whether you are in trouble, whether you're managing repayments, you're selling assets, changing ownership, changing your address, whatever it is. We have designed all of our processes here at Aurora Consulting to make your process more informed, better educated, to help you make better quality decisions, in many cases to walk you step by step by step. In many of our guidebooks about things like relocation, change of address, change of ownership, I literally wrote instructions on how to fill out the SBA forms that they require you to fill out, including box 1, do this, don't do that. Box 2, do this. Even going into a whole section about how to sign these forms, because we know with this federal bureaucracy how difficult it can be. And that's why we really appreciate this compliment from this client, and how Linda Ray and I encourage you, find the right attorney. If you need assistance with your COVID EIDL, everything we have to offer you, you will find in a link in the description and the pinned comment below. And thank you for watching. I'm Trevor, the EIDL expert. I'll see you next time around.